See you next year.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the final round of the National Parliamentary Tournament of Excellence here in 2024. My name is Dr. Stephen Kalani Farias from the University of the Pacific. I'm the treasurer at the of the National Parliamentary Tournament of Excellence, not at the University of the Pacific. It's been a long weekend, but I want to welcome you all to the final round. I'll be introducing the competitors and the judges, and then our competitors will take time to give thank yous to the folks that have meant a lot to them throughout this process. And then we will get the round started after those thank yous. I do want to begin by just saying thank you to our host school, Whitman College, this year. They've done an excellent job, not just of providing resources for everybody here at the tournament, but of also making sure that things run fairly on time, that we are in a position to finish this evening in a 2-day schedule that is harkens back to an older school version of this tournament, and then also did it with a way that welcomed us all when we first came here on Friday. So everybody give a round of applause for Whitman and I'm sure there will be further thank yous of Whitman College, but I'd like to begin by introducing the competitors here in the final round, then the judges, and then I'll let them give the thank you. So first, on the affirmative, to Parley Debate at Berkeley, we have Tristan Keene and Brent Syerson. On the negative, from Whitman College, we have Casey Moulton. And then we have Jazz Liu. Judging the debate are from former national champion from the University of Oregon, Gabriel Breville. From Lewis and Clark College, McKay Parsons. From Mercer, Adasia Powell. Former MPA national champion from William Jewell College, David Hansen. MPTE board member, and from McKendree, Brent Nicholson. From the University of the Pacific, Tiara Smithson. And from the University of the Pacific, Sean Ty. I'm going to pass the mic to the Affirmative team to begin thank yous, and throughout the round, please share the mic with each other because this will make it most accessible. And finally, if there's anybody you want watching this that can't be here, there are links to the live stream that are on the front page of Camp Room. Then you don't have to be in the Discord. So if there are people here that can't be here that you would like to watch this, they're welcome to do so. The live stream is there. I'll hand this off to Berkeley.
Everybody, I'm Tristan. Yeah, let's just get right into it. First off, I'd like to thank the tournament staff. So this is basically just everybody I saw in the past room at some point throughout this weekend. So that was Baker, Steve, Joe Pro, Brent, and Kiefer. You all have made this a super smooth tournament and have really gone out of your way to make sure that we all feel super welcomed. And for that, I am so, so grateful. It's not an easy feat to run a tournament, and that is definitely a testament to all of you all's skills as people and also as like administrators and coaches of your own team, so thank you for that. Additionally, a couple other people who've made this tournament possible. First things first, Whitman President Dr. Bolton, as well as Student Life at Whitman, specifically Senior Associate Dean Julie Dunn, as well as IMS for providing tech support throughout this weekend. We've been lucky enough to not have to need it, which is so awesome and is really like special because at a tournament that is no small feat. Additionally, conference and facilities and Bon Appetit for providing us all the food and making sure that we're super comfortable here. And then just to the entire Whitman squad writ large for going out of your way, and you can tell, for making this tournament possible, showing up early, leaving late. Those things are super huge and they do not go unnoticed, so thank you so much. This one I forgot last time, like the last 3 times. I'd like to thank my family. They've been super supportive of my career. Had I known there was a live stream link, I would have sent them this, but I will relay the message to them personally. But yeah, they've always been super supportive of Brenna's and I's career, and that has been so, so special to have the support of family and to have people checking in and texting about why I'm in Walla Walla. Additionally, just a few thank yous to judges and community members. There are too many people to thank. It's been 4 years of feeling super duper welcomed by this community, and I apologize if I've missed anybody. It's been like kind of a long time that I've been in NPA at this point, and there's just been so many people in this community who have welcomed me and Brenna with open arms. A couple that I can think of are Adesia, Vicar, Brent, Steve, Mason, Nadia, Joe Pro, Cam, Chief, Brittany, Gabe, a bunch of people who have just judged us over the years and have been super supportive and encouraging of Brenna and I's careers in this activity, and who have really put in work to make sure that we grow outside of and inside Browns. And that has been so, so special and so amazing. There are a bunch of things I could say about the Parley community and how welcome we felt, but yeah, I'll try to keep it short because we want to go home. Additionally, I'd like to thank the institution of PDAB. There's been a couple people who've just really put their all into keeping it alive. So former directors of PDAB, so Alice Lynn and Trevor Grumman, who have absolutely just brought the team back from nearly collapsing or going out of big business entirely. That work does not go unseen, and even those people might not be in NPA in the same capacities that they once were, we are definitely the benefactors of their efforts, me and Brenna. Additionally, a couple other PDAP people who have been super influential on Brenna and my career: Amanda, Isabella, Lila, Will, June. All of these people have gone absolutely out of their way to welcome me and Brenna to the 4-year circuit. It was a weird transition, and they all gave so much to make sure that while it was weird, it wasn't uncomfortable or particularly unwelcoming. So that's something I'm super thankful for. Additionally, I'd like to thank some teammates from TDAB, Kylene for being absolutely awesome, Scott for being like so funny and so cool and being a really fun person to hang out with, Anthony, who's not here but has been eagerly watching results and has been cheering us on from Berkeley, Arjun, who has been super supportive and also is just such a sweet, sweet person, and Holden, who's given so much to me and Brenna, literally has made like our entire past year of success possible, and also is somebody that I would consider one of my best friends. Additionally, a couple other people relevant to my debate career. I'd like to thank like all of the squads here and also all of the squads at NPA. A couple that I can name off the top of my head are Whitman, Jewel, Rice, Pacific, Tyler, Mercer. There are so many amazing schools who have continued to put in the effort to make sure that Parliament stays alive, sending their students to tournaments, and just genuinely like being very nice and always being down to talk after rounds and like shoot the shit and like just hang out. And that's been so nice to have that sense of community and kind of a return to normalcy after the pandemic. A couple other people that have been super important. I already thanked June, but June has been such a major influence in shaping the past year of Brenna and I's career. Also probably just one of the smartest people I've ever met, and we are so, so lucky to have her here coaching us. Another person is Paul. Paul cares more about me and Brenna's careers than maybe we do sometimes, and that is such a privilege, and I've never taken that for granted. The same thing applies to Alex. Again, somebody who cares so, so deeply about Brenna and I, and somebody who's always, always, always in our corner and willing to support us, and has been just so kind and just always willing to work and help. Finally, I'm probably missing so many people, but I will definitely be sending lengthy thank yous to you if I have missed you, and I apologize so, so deeply. I'd like to thank Brenna. I don't know, it's been such a weird, long 3 years of debating, but it's felt so, so special. And getting to debate with your best friend and like the person that you kind of do everything with is something that I would never take for granted. And it has been like so cool to kind of like grow up in NPA and grow up as debaters together alongside with somebody who I also love so dearly. And I don't know, I could just go on forever about Brenna, but I think like at the end of the day, she really is just my favorite debater of all time. That's it.
Okay. Hi. This thank you speech is gonna be kind of weird because I felt really unprepared and felt really weird prepping this, being very aware that this was, the last round that the Intermission would ever be in, and I didn't know how to properly thank this community that I've really grown up in, but I'm gonna try my best. And apologies if this falls short or if I forget anyone, because this is kind of going to be off the cuff a little bit. First, to cross what Tristan was saying, I want to thank the tournament staff, Baker, Steve, Joko, Brent, Kiefer, for making this an amazing tournament. I think having nationals in 2 days sounds really scary, but this has run so smoothly, and also been a tournament that wasn't crazy at all because we had breaks and everything, and really made sure that we were taken care of as competitors here. I'd like to thank the MPTE and NPA board as well for making not only this tournament possible, but also this event possible. And then in terms of some specific institutional thank yous, I want to thank President Bolton, the student life at Whitman, Senior Associate Dean Julie Dunn, and IMS for tech support, conference facilities, and Going to Keep for food. Again, this tournament has just been amazing in every sense, and it wouldn't be possible without the institutional support of Whitman. Next, I want to thank some people at Berkeley for the institutional support, specifically Alice Lynn and Trevor Greenan. Alice Lynn revived PDAB and made it what it is today, and for that we can't thank her enough. And for Trevor Greenan for really making Parliamentary Berkeley what it is today. I would also like to thank Tristan's family, specifically Tristan's mom, for being super awesome and core memory in my debate career is when we had an online round and we got absolutely stomped by Alex and Gabe. And she came in the room and she said, "I didn't like how those boys were talking to you." I'd also like to thank my family for being endlessly supportive, and also my parents for pushing me to do debates so that I could stop arguing with them. Shout out to my sisters for always pretending like they don't really care about my debate career, but also always secretly bragging about me to their friends. I'd like to thank two people who have been super supportive of my debate career who are not associated with debate at all. I will send the video later. Anisha Singh, my best friend in the world, she never fails to introduce me at frat parties by saying, "This is my best friend who wins championships." And our other roommate, Eliana, who cried watching the video of our hippies at NPDA because she cares just as much as we do. I started my debate career at community college, as many people know, and I want to thank a couple people from there. First, I want to thank my first coach, Hassan Kasravi, for just being such an amazing person and teaching me the love of debate. Also, shout out to Hassan for making me very passionate about corn subsidies, which is why I submitted that topic paper. Shout out to Matt Hitomi, who has really shaped the trajectory of my career and also made me cry by texting me earlier today and reminding me that this was the last day of competition of my career. Matt, it has been an absolute privilege knowing you and just having been involved in his career at all. Similarly, Tanya Prabhakar for being one of my partners who was just absolutely amazing and taught me so much and never fails to text me and Tristan not only how proud she is of us, but always remind us that we are better than we think. Thank you to Richa, Tanya's little sister, one of my best friends, and someone who's been incredibly formative and supportive in me and Tristan's both personal life and debate career. Since this is like my last time speaking, I'm gonna shout out some people who definitely don't know I exist. I call this my parasocial relationships section. I'm also gonna thank some people that I now know personally, but I previously had a parasocial relationship with in debate. First, I want to shout out Martin King, Whitman Goat, for always teaching me in that one BBC lecture that it's always the PMR's fault if the app loses. Thank you to Nadia Steph, who's someone that inspired me so much before I even met her. Adeja, I religiously watched your rounds and just learned so much from you even before I met you, and so I can't thank you enough for that. Lila Lavender, who I'm so grateful to be able to call a coach and a friend now, but someone who has made me so much better. That playbook taught me how to spread. To June, I'm going to thank you again, but I also definitely had a parasocial relationship with June and also Amanda and also most of the Berkeley squad before I came to Berkeley, and they taught me so much and made me want to do tech debate and showed me how to be such a good debater and also be swaggy and have good style. Alex and Gabe, I think that y'all know how much we had a parasocial relationship with y'all before we met you. So I'll keep that between us. Also, Miles Keller for playing Andrew Neiman in Whiplash. And then some judges. I want to thank Adeja again for always giving us incredible ballots. And Adeja, I think that you know how much you've meant to me in my debate career. Not only have you made me better, but you've also inspired me so much and also have been such a constant source of support. And I'm so grateful for you, and I'm so grateful to know you. Nadia, I don't know if she's here right now. I really want to thank her again so that she could hear it this time, but I'll make her watch a video later, for always being so encouraging and pushing us to be better and telling me to always be a bitch when I can. To Brent for also being one of our favorite judges on the circuit for giving us great feedback. To Mason, to Steve, to Joe Pro, and unfortunately also to Kyle Carter. To some specific squads that we love a lot. Whitman, obviously. I think y'all know how much we fuck with y'all. Special shout out to Jazz and Casey for being so incredible as competitors and also members of this community. Our rounds against you are some of our favorites, and I could not be more thrilled that we get to share this platform with you two. I just think you're so amazing. And also, I think it's really awesome that the four of us get to have the last round of our careers together. Shout out Rice. Rice knows how much I love them, specifically Max and Arjun, although I'm a little bit mad at them for not coming to this tournament. Pacific, for not only historically always being super supportive of us, and but also continually giving us really, really awesome rounds. And the same goes to UG Tyler. I want to thank some specific people at PETA, specifically Amanda, who sadly can't be here right now. Amanda not only has been such an inspiration to me, but Amanda has helped us so tremendously and has really shaped how I think about tea, which, I guess I owe all of my guidance to her then. To Isabella for being so supportive, both in prep and in the debate sense, but also just being an amazing support of emotional support, and also just being hella funny and awesome. To Will for being a great friend and someone who has really made our transition from community college to Berkeley amazing, and then also Lila again for constantly gassing us up to a degree that we probably don't deserve. And to all of my teammates, first I want to thank Kylene. Kylene is so amazing. She came into this to PDAP really nervous as a freshman, going into tournaments, not sure how the year is going to look, and she came out as an NPTE semifinalist, and so I'm so incredibly proud of Kylene, and I can't wait to see how your career flourishes, and I hope to be able to be a sufficient coach for you next year. Scott. Thank you to Scott for being so amazing. It's been amazing seeing you improve this much. Starting as an amazing debater in the fall and seeing you just like skyrocket throughout your tournaments this year. Also for always never failing to make me laugh. You just say the most out-of-pocket shit sometimes, but I love it. And I really want to give a huge thank you to Holden and Arjun for being so supportive of me and Tristan and always wanting us to be our best and always unequivocally being supportive. Arjun is just so incredible. One of the smartest people I know, and also just has the craziest work-life balance because he's always just a really cool guy, but also a genius, in case anyone didn't know. And Holden knows how much I love him. I love Holden so much, and one highlight of my tournament was Holden admitting that I'm his best friend, so thank you so much for that. Finally, I want to thank 4 people who've been incredibly formative to my career. First, Paul Villa for, as Tristan said, caring more about our careers than we do. It is so amazing to have that sort of investment and having someone to push us to do better, because I never want to let Paul down. And no matter what the result of any tournament is, Paul is always so proud of us. For Alex for being one of our closest friends, but also for sacrificing so much of his personal time to be able to help us improve and grow, because he knows that we're passionate about this and he wants us to be able to do what we love. To June again for being so amazing. It's been so awesome getting closer with you this year, and also just being able to pick your brain and learn everything that you know, which is I'll never be able to contain it. And finally, I want to thank Tristan, who I thank every day for being the best person ever. Tristan is, as most of y'all know, my other half. I love her so much. I couldn't do debate or life without her. I know y'all all probably think that Tristan is amazing, but I promise you, however amazing you think she is, it's that times 100. And then finally, as an underview, this is my last tournament ever. And that's pretty awesome, and it's been really amazing growing up doing debate, having it shape the way that I think and I interact with the world. And it's been amazing having this community, no matter how small. I love everyone in this room, and I hope to be able to see all of y'all next year when I'm on the other side of the table. And thank you to everyone for making this community what it is. It's such a special place, and that couldn't be possible without anyone here. If I've forgotten anyone, I deeply apologize. You can come right before I leave.
This has been a
really exciting moment for Parley and for debate at Whitman in general. This is our 6th year back since the program was restarted. It's been really exciting to host you all. So some kind of institutional stuff to start. To thank President Sarah Bolton for her continued support of the Whitman Debate Forensics team, and for watching half of our round about space weapons earlier. She left after we started talking about aliens, so that's the institutional legacy we get. I'd also like to thank Senior Associate Dean of Students Julie Dunn for her very, very unending support of Whitman Debate and Forensics. I can't overstate the amount of institutional work she does to support the debate team. To IMS for putting together the recording process for today. That's cool. Recorded rounds are cool. To facilities and conferences for the kind of cleanup work and the assembly work they've done. This has been quite a thing to put together over just 2 days, in addition to all of the every other thing that's happening in the month of April that's happening right now on campus as well. To communications for their really cool design on the t-shirts that we all got. That's really sick. And to Bon Appetit for putting out food for everyone and just keeping us all well fed, which is very important. To the people who make the NPT and NPDA possible. There's a whole lot of you, and I'm probably not going to remember everyone's name, so broad, I'm skipping ahead, but the blanket of thanks that I avoid doing because I refused to do it for the last 2 years, I will extend now. You really do an incredible job of building community and ensuring that debate is able to persist in moments where we're not sure if debate will be able to persist. To the tournament staff who's put this whole thing together, so to Steve and Joko and to Baker and Kiefer, we're on time, guys, yay. And it's just been a really incredible tournament. I know that putting together MPJ is a train wreck and a half, so really appreciate it. At the kind of coaching level at Whitman, I don't really think I can overstate what Baker has done for Parley and debate at Whitman in general. So I don't really have the words to explain it, but thank you, Baker, for everything, for putting Jazz and I together, because we both liked to win, so I guess something worked out along the way. To Kyle for giving us the most crazy scenarios. I mean, I heard about it in Congress, guys, it's real. The wealth of knowledge you carry is so in depth, and it's invaluable, but also you taught me a lot about what it means to go out into the world and be proud of yourself, and I really hope to do that myself. And to Kiefer, thank you for being what if you did forensics for 2 years? And then I did it. And so it's been really fun to have my last 2 years of my debate career be as a full-service competitor in both forensics and in debate, which has been a lot of work at times, but we've made it work, so thank you, Kiefer. We've had a lot of really, I was trying to put together this list and I couldn't, come up with everyone's name, so sorry. But we've had a lot of people in our prep rooms over the last 3 years. David Hansen, for one, 2 years and 1 month ago. I think everything I learned about TI I learned that weekend, so that's, yay. And to Judith Turia for teaching me, how to give a rebuttal in general. I always write down the first sentence because Judith told me to, so we just don't stop doing it. And to Lauren Schaefer for the first 2 years at Whitman in particular. Personally, I'm really grateful for another form of institutional support, which is the President's Scholarship in Debate. As a first-gen working-class student, the scholarship I received from the institution to debate is what allows me to debate, or not allows me to go to college at all, which is really exciting, and it's really, that's what's made my Whitman experience possible, so I'm really, really grateful for that. Like I mentioned, this is last debate, but this is my last debate after 4 years in the activity. So to kind of go back in time a little bit, I learned to debate in the Idaho High School debate circuit, which is quite the place to learn to debate. You grow up with 4 colleges around you who prove that you can grow up to be a collegiate debater. So I'm really grateful for the kind of modeling they do to prove that debate at the collegiate level can happen. And the Idaho High School debate circuit is crazy competitive. People just don't know it. So it's a really fun place to grow up. So to Jeffrey Stabenhagen, Ben Smolden, Logan Potter, and Tucker Bates for all the work that they did there to make debate at the high school level possible. Yeah, we're 8 years comes down to one thank you speech, and I feel like I'm really underselling it. I would like to thank the Whitman debate team. It's really exciting that we have an alumni network now that we get to call and say, hello, would you like to come judge for us? And that's a transition that's happened over the last 2 years, and it's been really exciting to live in it. So to Heidi Adelson, who was my very first Parley partner at Whitman, who did speech with me at the Idaho High School level. It's been really fun to get to continue to cultivate that relationship with them. It's we're real adult people now, and we're not giving informs in some random room at Boise High. To Ilsa Sprabolis, who's also here for all of her unending support and explaining the difference between ontology and epistemology so many times. And I only picked it up at NPDA, but I won't tell you which NPDA. And lastly, to Reeve Boyer. Reeve also taught me a lot about why being specific is very good, and also that you can have fun in debate. So thanks to Reeve. I would also like to, I don't know, I feel the coach, the other coaches and other judges are what make this program possible. I feel if I tried to list names, I'm going to miss someone. So again, the warm blanket of thanks I've been avoiding is extended again. Last, I'd like to thank my friends who put up with a lot of I'm sorry I can't, I have debate practice for the last 4 years. And some of them are here to watch this time around, which is really exciting to get to say. And to my family, to my parents who covered all of our entries in high school so that I could get to do debate, thank you so much for that. And just for making sure that debate was always an option for me. And last, I'd like to thank Jazz. Thank you for not letting me eat cleaved mashed potatoes by myself the first day of my sophomore year, because that is, in fact, how we met. Thank you so much for making these last 3 years really, really extraordinary. You've taught me a lot about what it means to be a good debater, but more than that, you've shown me what it means to be an incredible person, and for that, I'm really grateful. So thank you, Jazz, and thank you all for being at Whitman. It's been really fun to host you all.
Hello. This is an incredible moment that I'm feeling right now. I've been doing debates for 10 years, and 6 years ago, I thought I had my last debate round at the Rose City Round Robin in Portland in high school. And after that, I dropped out of high school, and I didn't. And I would never imagine that I would get to experience a moment like this, to have the honor and privilege of debating in front of you all today, and to fight for a national championship title. It truly is an honor, and in the past debate communities that I've been in, I've never felt as welcomed and as loved as I have in this community, and so I want to thank you all for the constant love and support that you always bring to tournaments, that you bring to each other, that you show to Casey and I when we debate in front of you, and it is so special. I'd like to thank the institution, Whitman College, for hosting this tournament, to Sarah Bolton for her continued support of the speaking debate team, and to Julie Dunn for her continued support of the debate team, and to all the other institutions that Casey mentioned. I'd like to thank my family for the continued support and for putting up with me for yapping 10 years in speech and debate and speaking all this nonsense. They don't get any of it, but they still have not stopped supporting me. I'd like to thank the Whitman debate staff. It's actually incredible the amount of compassion and care and love that you all constantly put into this program, and to feel so valued not just as a debater, but as a person in these rounds and in the prep room and even outside of the prep room. So I'd like to thank Baker for all the work that they've done to bring the Whitman debate program together and to have it flourish in the way that it has. For Kiefer for showing so much love and bringing so much positive energy to the team constantly, and for helping us branch out into other forms of debate. Kyle Blygen for always pushing me to do better, even when I feel like I have already doing so much, and to keep showing me new ways in which I can expand my ability to debate, and also for just being an amazing person to hang out with. To the other people that have been in our prep room, to Lauren for starting the Whitman debate program, to Judith for helping us, and to also David Hansen for helping us previously. To some of the judges and the competitors that we've debated against, to the Berkeley squad for giving us some of the most amazing rounds that I've ever had and making me fight for my life every time I have to debate against them. It really is exhilarating, the adrenaline. To Yuki Tyler for always talking to us after round and giving us support. To the Rice squad for being our biggest fans. To William Jewell, to McHenry, and to Mercer, and to Utah, it's always so much fun to debate, and debate truly is my favorite game, and I love every moment of it. To the other people in the Women Debate Squad, to the people that came before us, Reeve, thank you for debating at the round robin for me randomly and letting me run go drive every round just for fun. Thank you to Ilsa for creating such a long-lasting legacy and staying and supporting the team for so long. Thank you to Heidi for teaching me so much about life and for helping me so much and recognizing me for the person that I am. Thank you to Bella and Alexa for giving us some of the most incredible practice rounds and for also making us fight for our life every single debate and for all the topicality practice. I feel like I've gotten threefold better at topicality. To all of the other debaters that will continue our legacy, to Alice and Sophia and Heather and Ren, to Kayla, Finn, Lewis, Dylan, I'm trying to remember everyone's name. To Linda Grace, to Grace Canny, and to Ada and Sophia, thank you all for all of the positive energy that you bring to debate. I truly feel like debate is one of my favorite spaces on campus, and it's what has kept me at this college and what has motivated me to continue doing the amazing work. Thank you to our judges and to all of the judges that have judged Casey and I and supported us. I'm going to extend this blanket thank you because I don't even know how to begin thanking everyone throughout this incredible process. Thank you to my friends for coming to this round and watching me, to Irene and Saki for being the backbone that I need in life to actually keep my life together, and to my own friends from high school, Jesse Burdick and Hannah Weinberg for always being there and showing love. And thank you to Casey for being my partner, for debating with me and played up with me for all these years, for being there for me even outside our round, whenever I'm going through something, whenever I need to lean on, and even in round when I need someone to stand up for me and speak for me. You have shown me so much love and so much care these past 3 years, and I would not have chosen anyone else to be here.
Significantly visits the best of the research development. One, the space by the background. One is extraterrestrial beings are nebulae exist. Some is scientifically proven that the universe is infinite, that it's all but nebulae that extraterrestrial life exists. Some views that there are more than 5,000 confirmed exoplanets with the more being found every year. Current models predict billions of habitable worlds in the Milky Way. Second, it's possible to travel option to rendering to some is four fireballs from space that was discovered on the ocean floor in 2014 was identified by Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb in 2023 as evidence of extraterrestrial life is contained magnetic fragments unlike any other naturally occurring space vantage point is Fermi paradox. Is uniqueness. 1. We are prepared for aliens for extraterrestrial life. For someone aids to resolve the Fermi paradox, we must imagine that the universe is a dark forest filled with many hunters which are hiding behind trees that represent extraterrestrial civilization. The reason for which we haven't discovered extraterrestrials is that because they haven't revealed themselves. So because extraterrestrial technology is unknowable, ostensibly they will have extraterrestrial technology or have ways to remain undetected. Second is no movement. There's no movement for us to compare right now. So what Asian nations are much more focused on popularly born Earth. The North Korean satellite launching and the Iranian satellite launches on our specifically designed ground sensing
to vote for the team with the best FIATA policy option for resolving material violence. The United States federal government should significantly increase its investments in research and development and deployment of the Lockheed Martin Morpheus microwave unmanned aerial system in geostationary orbit for the defense of Earth against extraterrestrial attacks. What kind of extraterrestrials?
We say that it's impossible to specify since extraterrestrials are unknown to us. This is all the background we need this scenario, and so we say that any extraterrestrial force coming from another planet would definitely be hostile, even if not intentionally.
What does the Morpheus microwave unmanned aerial system do?
Yeah, so let me get you the specific link for it. So this, it's literally sort of microwave technology, which means that it's able to disable incoming technological attacks. So any sort of technological weapon that any sort of technology can be disabled from the Morpheus system.
Order on this is going to be 2 off. Then the affirmative, starting on, wow, really close. Okay. Then the affirmative, starting on the underview. Then I'm going to do top down solvency, advantage 1, advantage 2. Yeah, advantage 1, advantage 2. Cool. Is anyone not ready? Then we go ahead and start 8 minutes. Now, interpretation, the affirmative must specify whether the research and development and deployment is done through the National Aeronautics and Space Administration of the United States Space Force in the plan test of the PNC. The 8 point here is that this is normal means is all previous instances of space weapons and future projects are now under NASA or the Space Force. This is more legally accurate. Violation. They do not specify whether or not the National Aeronautics and Space Administration or the United States Space Force enacts the plan standards. One is spec is good, actor spec is good, and top switch. There are only 2 multiple potential actors. This means it is reasonable that the affirmative specify to this extent both access to research over the last month and instructional fairness serve as warrants here. After specificity is uniquely keys NASA and Space Force are operationally and effectively and perceptually different actors, which is critical to the negative's access to clash. The 2-point solvency testing. This is crucial for these solvency to be tested. NASA is better for research and development for the Space Force has more logistical and structural capabilities for deployment. These are 2 different
with solvency. This should also act as a solvency press on the affirmative in addition to proof of loss clash. Second is depth of a rep. We've already had time for rep debate because we've been prepping these topics for 6 weeks. You should prefer the depth, you should prefer the specificity coming down to the negative in terms of the demands we are able to make on the affirmative, especially the point where we tell you that there are 2 actors with functionally different results and they couldn't specify. Fourth is the TDA. First, the United States. First is that NASA should significantly increase its investments in research and development and deployment of the Lockheed Martin Morpheus microwave unmanned aerial system in geostationary orbit for the defense of Earth against extraterrestrial attacks. And second, the Space Force should significantly increase its investments in research and development and deployment of Lockheed Martin Morpheus microwave unmanned aerial systems in geostationary orbit for the defense of Earth against extraterrestrial attacks. Voters. One is a priority of general rules before you play the game so you can see and essentially must be resolved first. Second is clash. We say the clash services internally into things like education. We are unable to clash on the leadership because we're unable to get in-depth debate, which is going to put the affirmative fundamentally behind. In this phase, we're unable to have conversations about minutia, which we see are uniquely key to our ability to gain verbal skills and skill up what we learn into debate to enact change on our political structures. Third is clash-based education. Clash is the internal link here. This causes unique instances of education that research cannot necessarily promise it. We say in-depth interrogation of the action of the affirmative should always be preferred. You do not get clash-based education in the world of the affirmative right now. You prefer the models of education that the negative posits. Fourth is competing interpretations. For competing interpretations over abilities avoids judge intervention and race to the bottom. Next up, uniqueness. On March 11th, President Biden announced his budget for fiscal year 2025. The 8 points that Congress was trying to pass funding for FY25 by April 30th. Second, in November 2023, Congress passed the latter continuing resolution to continue funding at last year's levels to keep agencies afloat. In March, the final appropriations bills were passed by Congress to continue to fund the government through FY24. The 8 point is that this was a tenuous budget year. All appropriations bills should be passed prior to the ending of the fiscal year. The crunch this year means that tensions are already high as legislators look towards the next round of appropriations. The B point here is that Susan Collins said, I urge my colleagues to stop putting fire here, the top-ranking Republican member of the Senate Appropriations Committees, indicating that passage is key. Third, members of Congress are meeting right now to discuss the budget. They've hosted 36 full subcommittee meetings to date and are expected to ramp up. The A point is that any interruption to this process risks extending further, recreating the same conditions as FY24. B, Congress is already at odds over funding. Newly mentioned appropriations chair Tom Cole, Republican of Oklahoma, is proposing changes to the earmark process for community projects and nonprofit organizations that drawing backlash from Democratic Appropriations Committee members. The links. 1. According to Article 1, Section 8, Clause 1 of the U.S. Constitution, only Congress has the power to lay and collect taxes, duties, imposts, and excises to pay the debts and provide for the common defense and general welfare of the United States. Second, according to the White House 2024 Analytical Guide on the Federal Budget, all increases in investment enacted by the executive branch must be provided in statute by both the House and Senate. 3. The affirmative plan necessitates an act of Congress to provide the executive authority to enact such an increase in investment. This means that they must go before both the House and Senate appropriations committees before going to a floor vote. The 8 point is according to House and Senate parliamentary appropriations cannot be passed by voice consent, meaning that the affirmative necessitates legislative deliberations in both chambers and must receive a majority vote from the entirety of Congress. Internal links. 1 is the plan necessitates subcommittee hearings, full subcommittee hearings, full committee markups, floor discussion, and negotiations of final floor vote to implement new space funding. A, the affirmative plan requires 290 representatives and 67 senators from both parties to approve subsidies legislation. And B, the affirmative plan increases all ongoing appropriations committee legislative work in the House and Senate. Impacts. 1 is defense. The budget includes nearly $1.5 billion for Jordan and $1.4 billion to support U.S. strategic partnership with Egypt, U.S. assistance in the Middle East and North Africa, continued efforts to combat terrorism and Iran-backed actors and help mitigate the economic shocks and instability worsened by the Israel conflict. You prefer these impacts to the point that we're going to head in terms of proximity and time frame. We are able to view a specific scenario that explains exactly why these impacts are going to be probable. In addition, why we are ahead on terms of time frame. The little A here is going to be terrorism. We say that a big bus plot in the Middle East leads to more terrorism, particularly as line actors probably own nuclear weapons. Will probably use them if the United States isn't there. This loose nukes scenario triples over as they're used against other actors before we all die. The big point here is economic instability. We say that economic stability in the region leads to trade wars, which spill over to more regional resource scarcity and an increase in violence as it spills over. The second impact is humanitarian aid. The budget provides $10.3 billion in life-saving humanitarian aid and refugee assistance to support more than 330 million people in need in more than 70 countries, in addition to the emergency supplemental request of $10 billion to address unprecedented global humanitarian needs, including the dire humanitarian situation facing Palestinians in Gaza. The input is starvation. Famine is imminent in northern Gaza, with 70% of people experiencing catastrophic hunger. Starvation is being used as a weapon of war. The local community is by and large unable to provide supplies. The little one is that the negative outcomes on proximity. Starvation is resolvable through the provision of food goods. This doesn't happen in the world of the affirmative. The little two is that the outcome on temporality. The life cycle carries different weights when starving. This impacts the daily lived experience. The big point is refugee crisis. Over 100 million people have been forcibly displaced as a result of ongoing conflicts, and the number of displaced persons has doubled in 10 years. The C point is DQ. Conflicts or conditions of conflict are inherently dehumanizing and instrumentalize the lives of most marginalized. This is a magnitudinal impact at the point that it is cyclical. The affirmative proper. On the role of ballot, we're going to say that they are unable to meet their own role of the ballot at the point that they increase violence against extraterrestrials themselves. They say that you should vote for the team with the best beyond policy for resolving material violence, when they create more material violence themselves by putting the conditions in space that literally have the whole point is to feel extraterrestrials. This means that they don't meet their own role of ballot, and it's a bad model for debate. Yeah, I mean, robots fine fast, we're going to resolve material violence, but they're unable to do it. Cool. Additionally, here, like, policy's fine, that's cool. On the plan, what's going to be a deficit in terms of the plan? We say that they don't tell you what kinds of aliens are coming. How do you know that their migratory technology has the ability to check back because the technology that they say is unprecedented and incredibly dangerous? This means that you treat the entirety of the affirmative with a grain of salt, and the point that they are unable to tell you what it's going to actually, at the point that they're unable to tell you both in terms of proximity, and time frame, and probability, what the use of the Lockheed Martin Morpheus microwave unmanned aerial system is actually able to do. This means this starts to suppress on the entirety of the affirmative solvency at the point that we don't know if I can solve the alien problem that they isolate, because maybe the aliens have technology that's so good that's just going to beat their Morpheus unmanned aerial systems and trigger the entirety of the impacts of the affirmative. Go to the first advantage now. You're going to cross-play the work I did. You're going to cross-play the work I did on the plane here. We tell you that, one, there's no probabilities laid out for this sheet, so you do not buy it. You're going to prefer the negatives impacts in terms of proximity. Cool. One is space in terms of miscalculation. The 8 point here is accidental warfare. Strategic miscalculation is uniquely likely in space is much easier to hold than adversary space systems in jeopardy with destructive technology that's a sustainably planned system, which is expensive and not technologically feasible. This means that the entirety of their scenario leads to more conflict. This is going to be important on their second advantage. Additionally, here we're going to say that they have no link at the point where they can't tell you that the technology is key for checking back against the aliens that they say are coming to Earth. This means that the impacts of the affirmative become cyclical at the point that they cause distinction through positing that they can be the aliens. Go to the second scenario. The overview of the sheet is that posturing is the problem already, that there's no reorientation to the current political situation, then they don't get to fiat multilateralism. This means that they're always going to be behind in terms of the international scenario. Yeah.
Whether the research and development and deployment is done through the NASA or the U.S. Space Force in the plain text of the PMC.
Yeah, I mean, the NASA can go through, yeah.
Can you some links where you decide?
Yeah, the links where on the DISAD is your act of Congress. We read you 3 different sort of citations from the different congressional statutes that indicate why the affirmative necessitate an action of Congress. We say that affirmative also necessitates funding for the current plan, which triggers appropriations negotiations, which protects the ongoing negotiation processes that are happening in the status quo.
So you make this argument about like collecting taxes for defense on the links. Can you explain that specific argument?
Oh, that's just a citation from Congress that says only Congress can do that.
Yeah, it includes what Congress has the authority to do, including collecting taxes, but also including the defense of the U.S. Of the USFG, which would include things such as the Affirmative Act, which is the defense of the planet.
let's put back on top. The underview after that, briefly. Background sheet, dirt forest, multilateralism, and then the Congress. Yeah, so that is spec, the underview, the background, add 1, add 2, then the mishap. Does anybody have one? Is anybody not ready? Cool. The first thing to expect is going to be the counter-interpretation, the affirmative, the must specify whether the research and development is done via the space force or NASA when asked. The second counter-interpretation is going to be the affirmative must specify to the extent of the resolution meeting both counter-interpretations. We would specify if you ask. We also say that if twice necessarily checks back into the community, that benefit of our counter-interpretation. We also say that because it's MBTE topic prep means that you should absolutely be prepped for both, which means that there is no lost ground that takes out all of your standards about why spec is necessarily good or fair. Additionally, we're going to say that you can make all of your A-spec arguments by saying that one after the normal means after the resolution, which means that there is no impact to initiate. They say that it's key to solvency testing, but again, it's a question of making those normal means arguments in the first place. Again, but additionally, they don't make any kind of solvency press arguments, which means there's no warrant for solvency testing being a key piece of ground for negative. But additionally, we're going to say that there's a bunch of topical version of the affirmative. The topical version of the affirmative that they read is NASA, and the Space Force should increase funding, but that literally does not meet their own interpretation because it's a question of research, development, and deployment, which means you don't grant them a game on the topical version of the affirmative. On the counter standards, one, we're going to say that spec is always going to be infinitely regressive. We say that this collapses with depth of maybe just like minutes on the plan text of the PNC, which means we never talk about the actual substance of the affirmative. But additionally, we're going to say that spec sets a uniquely bad precedent. We're going to say that it necessarily forces us to spend the debate talking about actors when we're going to say that it probably detracts from the depth of it leads to things like teams that get into the second advantage with 12 seconds in, and the TE final is probably a really bad precedent to set. But additionally, we're going to say that there's absolutely no proof of this. You do not articulate any kind of ground laws, which means you absolutely evaluate this sheet through the lens of reasonability. We say that reasonability is a question of if we win on making a defense on any of their standards or any of our counter standards, which means you absolutely grant us this sheet. Don't put us down here. Anything else you want to? Cool. The only answer on the underview is that we increase violence against extraterrestrials. There's a couple of responses here. One, we say that we necessarily engage in preventive violence. It's saving of lives and decreasing violence. But additionally, we're going to say that this is only a question of deterring and being able to respond to an alien attack, which means that we're not going out to other planets and killing a bunch of extraterrestrials. Let's go to the background now. They have conceded to massive points as to why aliens are necessarily inevitably going to come from Earth right now. This is a really bad idea. We're going to say that the universe is necessarily infinite. There are billions of planets in the solar system which are capable of sustaining life. Additionally, we specifically considered that we have evidence of fireballs in space, which has been confirmed by the U.S. Space Command, and that's absolutely an indication that aliens have technology which answers back you're insecure. But additionally, we're going to say that indicates that they have technology that is specifically sophisticated enough to be able to keep it from us. We have this one instance, but we have not seen them in our own solar system, which probably proves that they have sophisticated tech. Additionally, the articulation that aliens have tech that's way better than ours is mitigated defense or that's extracted back to defend the Earth against extraterrestrial attack. That means you can go ahead and extend the dark forest uniqueness. We say that most of us goes consider. We say that we are absolutely unprepared in the status quo. We are spending too much time with dealing with war or to deal with being able to prevent alien attack. We say that now is specifically key because the Earth is louder than ever, and things like war bubble means that we are on the brink of aliens finding out about us and executing a first strike. They say that we need to warn the intro that you specifically consider all of the articulations on multilateral. So why we necessarily decrease the chances of war, but then they say that the tech is not sufficient. Again, mitigated defense at best. We're going to say that microwave technology is necessarily really key because it's able to deter electronic attacks, which cannot be deterred in the status quo. Additionally, we're going to say that research and development actually absolutely checks back for this, which means you grant us all of the links about how we are able to prevent a preemptive strike because these are remote operating means in orbit. It means that we always have our finger on the trigger and we're ready to deter alien attacks. And that means if you go ahead and extend the impacts of extinction pandemics. Absolutely always is that. Let's go to the issue. Their only response here is that posturing is a problem already. They've conceded all of the root cause analysis to why is war and right now because of lack of multilateralism. We're going to say that disadvantage. Additionally, if you consider the impact of science cooperation, that probably means that the plan is potentially really, really good for anybody who votes in favor of the plan. That means that their deliberation on the House floor is always going to be really, really short. Okay, let's go to the disadvantage. The overview to the disadvantage is you don't really have uniqueness about why any of you were able to resolve any of your impacts in the status quo. When they say that the Congress is trying to pass a bill now, we're going to say that there's probably a bunch of reasons why Congress necessarily cannot pass the bill in the status quo. We're going to say that the previous budget negotiations absolutely indicate that leaning Democrats are absolutely willing to delay things like budget deliberations over small flaws that they find within the budget. But additionally, we're going to say that there's a bunch of controversial things in the budget, which means it's not going to pass anyway. I.e., things like support for Palestine are specifically viewed as really negatively by Republican voters, which means that they're absolutely not going to be able to pass a bipartisan budget in the status quo. Anything else wrong with uniqueness? Okay, cool. Let's drop down to the links. They say that only Congress can do this specific type of action. We're going to say no, there's no historical precedent for this. You can look to how the Manhattan Project was specifically funded, not on the House floor, but through a secret meeting between the president and committee chairs of the appropriations committee. That probably indicates that in matters of national security, we're absolutely able to pass these bills and skirt these kind of deliberations on the House floor. The Manhattan Project was literally funded through tiny lifelines of bills that would not have given away the secrecy of the Manhattan Project. That's probably a really big, important piece of historical evidence for why deliberations necessarily are not going to be skirted. On the internal links, they make a bunch of arguments as to why we delay floor and House and floor deliberations. Even Costco and articulation, the plan is super popular. Everybody loves science. Everybody loves defending the planet against aliens. Additionally, you can see all of our impacts means that we absolutely win that the plan is a good idea, which means that Republican and Democrat voters, Congress people will absolutely pass this plan as soon as possible because they know it's in their best interest for not only the security of the world, but also for their constituents. On the arguments about defense budget, we're going to say that you probably are on the wrong side of history to point out where you say the defense budget isn't necessarily good and needs to be passed because you specifically articulate that this money goes towards fighting the war against Gaza. And we're going to say that in a world where you got oh yeah, we're going to say that multilateralism necessarily solves conflict better. You can see that this coming out of the PNC. This is an articulation that democratic peace theory means that no two democracies will ever go to war for each other, which means that we necessarily solve the root cause of these kind of conflicts in the first place. Additionally, on the articulations of the starvation getting imminent in Gaza, we're going to say that blockade absolutely guts any kind of solvency. We're going to say that Israel does not allow humanitarian aid into the Gaza Strip, which means that you cannot solve any of these impacts.
The countertroops are would ask an extended resolution.
Yeah.
Well, we'll start those now.
The order is going to be
Yeah. All too close?
Can everyone hear me fine? Okay. The order is going to be the spec sheet, the disadvantage, the affirmative, starting on the roll of ballot, and then add one, add two.
Give me a second.
Yeah.
Need background anymore?
I just look at the background sheet and I think I'm going to put it somewhere. So background after I talk about the roll of the ballot. So T, DA, roll of the ballot, background, I want that too. I'm scared to be too loud. Is anyone not ready? On the spec sheet, you can see the kind of recruiters we're not going to be going for this flow, but the disadvantage. There's no floating offense, so yeah, let's not forget about it. Stop. They missed the analysis of the disadvantage that we're giving you. We say that Congress currently has 2 days until April 30th to pass the appropriation bills for the entire budget of the fiscal year 2025. They say they cannot pass this bill in the status quo. Its appropriations for fiscal year 2025 are being decided by April 30th. They say that we cannot pass the bill in the status quo, but they ignore that we are currently, Congress has already met 36 times to actually include these bills in negotiations, and they are on track to pass it by April 30th. But they have not expected the affirmative plan to be in place. They say there are always delays in budget and small flaws, but they consider the uniqueness analysis that we said that Congress has been working tirelessly and have already met multiple times, and they are so close to finishing this in 2 days, but the affirmative plan comes out of nowhere and always says that they say other things such as support or ballot assignment, and that there's never going to be a bipartisan budget. They have no indication that any of these things currently exist within the budget. We say that all of these small flaws and budget negotiations have already been resolved in the status quo, which is the reason why their uniqueness analysis is not from right now. You can extend all the points that we read to you about right now about how the uniqueness one that Congress currently has until April 30th, and also the third uniqueness one about how members are meeting right now, and any kind of delay or risk not meeting the budget deadline by April 30th, which is the reason why it's key right now. On the links. Their only answer is that there's no historical precedent because they go through secret meetings. If anything, this is the reason why they don't get access to advantage to, because the affirmative plan happens secretly. Why kind of multilateral negotiations or scientific cooperation? What happens if the affirmative is just a secret plan? Don't give them the best of both worlds. We say that even if they are secret meetings, they still need funding for the affirmative plan to actually happen, like which is allocated to the DOT by Congress, which is what we review from the affirmative plan. This is the link one, but we said that only Congress has the power in the government constitutionally to actually provide funding, which is the reason why we have a constitutional argument that precedes any argument they say about secret meetings, because even DOT Blackwood negotiations and funds are still negotiated through Congress and national security gains, such as the DOT and DHS, which is the reason why they still include our arguments. Even if you don't mind that, you can send the second and third arguments about how the White House said that you must necessitate going through the appropriation process through both the House and Congress, which is the reason why they still necessitate funding. They also have no warrants for why they didn't necessarily happen through secret meetings. If anything, their cooperation arguments mean that it is the exact opposite, because they will try to gain international rallying and support for this, which means that even hundreds of accidents don't give them the best of both, don't give them both worlds. Anything else you want on this? Cool. You can also extend the third argument about how this necessitates deliberation, or specific arguments that the deliberation process is what's going to detract away from the current ongoing budget negotiation process. Go to the internal NCA, they say the plan is super popular because everybody loves it. Who loves it? Name one congressperson that wants to destroy, protect us from aliens. I don't think you can, because nobody knows what your plan is talking about. Nobody knows anything about using microwaves to stop potential aliens. They can't provide any justification or warrants on the sheet for why everyone would love the plan. Even if they win in this debate round, you believe that it prevents extinction. They can't win that. People in Congress will think about it. It's a massive reallocation of budget that nobody's expecting in the status quo, which is what we care about, which is not what the plan does, but how much money does it cost, because we are currently at the end and near the end of actually negotiating appropriation budgets in the status quo right now. Even if they say it's, you have to help live in the post-political situation, what we say is what dictates all of the negotiations. Even if you buy the plan is publicly, they still take all of the subcommittee hearings and meetings that are currently necessary in the status quo to actually get the final budget passed, which is the reason why they come at a necessary draft to all the budget negotiations. This means that you can extend the visa fund and internal that they freeze all ongoing negotiations. This freezing argument goes completely conceded by the negative. Don't get the affirmative. Don't get the new answers to this in the PMR. They said we've been funding things such as war and Gaza. They didn't speak our impacts. Our impact is specifically about counterterrorism operations that are happening in Jordan and Egypt that are currently happening in the status quo. You can extend that aid support that he teaches about how these terrorists are uniquely likely to have gained access to things such as loose nukes in the status quo, which is the reason why the counterterrorist operations that are happening in the status quo are necessary to keep on being funded. They can see all of this analysis that we gain access to an extinction level scenario that comes at a zero time frame and a zero proximal impact in the affirmative plan, because you actually know about what's going on in the status quo, but you don't know what aliens are going to attack us. You should probably solve for the predictive extinction scenario rather than the unpredictable scenario of the affirmative. You can also extend the arguments we made about how this $1.5 billion and $1.4 billion in Jordan and Egypt are specifically key to funding counterterrorism operations that are successfully stopping these Muslims in the status quo. You can also extend the B, put something about economic instability, that specifically these terrorist attacks, even if they don't cause nuclear war, will always cause economic instability. That means that countries will be
forward to fight over trade wars, fight over resource wars, and fight trade wars, which necessarily still over to nuclear conflict and interregional conflict, which means that we gain true unique access to nuclear war. Both of these scenarios go conceded, which means you don't get the new answers to this in the PMR. You can also extend the second argument on age. Our argument is that blockade stops this, but this analysis that we say that in the past 10 years, the amount of humanitarian crises and refugees have increased, I think, double. In the past 10 years, but not just from Gaza, but also from other refugee crises, such as the crisis in Ukraine, and also Yemen, which is the reason why funding aid is key right now. This $10.3 billion in aid still goes to people that are suffering in such school, even if it doesn't go to Gaza, it goes to the other people that other people experiencing humanitarian crises, which means to give us a complete access to all of these impacts. You can see the proximity argument and the starvation argument, how this is a specific form of suffering that is necessarily cyclical, which means it's a material violence that is compounded on itself because of the amount of toleration that people have to go through, the amount of suffering that people have to go through, and also the cyclicality of the humanization of poverty, which means that we are waiting on their role in the battle because we indicate that this is then necessarily more magnitudinal than the other areas because death happens in an instant, but starvation happens over a long period of time, which means that it compounds suffering. And then, yeah. Cool. Yeah, they just don't understand the scenario. Don't give them the articulations in the PMR. Go to the goal of the ballot. They say that they're waiting on preventive. They say that there are preventive violence that takes life. They don't indicate how much violence would necessarily happen in the group. We can't just say we would stop it magically with one lesson. We say that if they this is like attacking an alien spaceship that is trying to attack Earth, it would only increase the amount of conflict that happens in the status quo, which means that we go into an all-out space war. This probably means that it will only increase the material violence in the status quo, which means that the only team that actually is guaranteed to stop it and doesn't create an unending conflict is the affirmative team. Is the negative team. That's us. Yeah. Am I wrong? They give you a giant spiel about how aliens exist in the universe right now, but they have not answered the fundamental question about how are you going to stop aliens? How do you know what you do not know? They do not know what kind of technology or aliens have. They say electricity can be stopped by microwave, but how do you even know that your microwave is alert against alien electricity? Or what if alien spaceships don't even rely on electricity? They give you no words about how this specific technology can interact with unknown technology. They just only assert that their technology can stop all technology. But witnesses will say that doesn't even matter. They say themselves that they have sophisticated. The affirmative tells you themselves that they will have sophisticated systems that will be capable of light-speed travel and traveling from other solar systems, which we say are always going to be more advanced than this US technology that doesn't know how to do light travel and things like that, which means that they never actually have the technological capability to solve. They can read a bunch of arguments and say, try your guy for research and development, but they cannot guarantee you any kind of solvency. But we have to clean different scenarios into extinction and also be tiebreaker on something that is happening in the status quo because of the lack of aid that would happen if you pass the first time, which means that we are always going to be winning on this argument. You can classify all of these advantages, arguments to advantage one. I kind of view these the same. Yeah. Anything on advantage one? On the event, we can also extend the mistalk scenario. We say that's ridiculous. Mistalk is necessarily likely in a world in which you put weapons into space. They only say that it sells multilateralism. We didn't necessarily say that it increases massive chance of speculation at the point where anything is perceived in space as being an alien technology will necessitate a first strike. We also consider the fact that because space technology must always first strike because it's too expensive to defend, it will always necessitate striking first, which is the reason why it only increases the amount of conflict. Go to multilateralism. They've conceded in thesis analysis that they have no ability to feel out any kind of multilateralism. Look at the plan text affirmative. What part of the plan text says that we will increase cooperation between nations, we will guarantee scientific cooperation, or we will get other countries to agree with us on the aliens exist and fix, and we can define the defending is that they have no internal links or warrants about why other countries would necessarily believe that aliens still exist or want to cooperate with us, which means that they have no ability to solve. We also say that the regional conflict that happens because of the dissent is always going to mean that terrorists that do not care about diplomatic negotiations will cause nuclear war and kill us anyways.
Order's going to be brief overview on top. I'll touch the order is going to be brief overview on top. I'll touch the role of the ballot debate there for framing purposes. Then we're going to go to the tick scenario. Then it's going to be advantage 1, advantage 2. And I'll cover background on the first advantage.
Say that one more time.
Yeah, order is brief overview on top. Then it's going to go to the tick scenario. Then it's going to go advantage 1, aliens, advantage 2, multilateralism. Cool. Is anyone not ready? I'm going to go ahead and start 4 minutes now. You vote negative for Whitman on the probability and proximity of our impact scenario. They gave you a roll of the ballot in today's debate to vote for the team with the best beyond policy option for resolving material violence. This means that the negative is always going to be ahead in terms of the proximity of our impacts to resolve this violence. You vote on the probability and magnitude of our scenarios and their ability to resolve rather than what you get out of the world of the affirmative. Go to the tick scenario now. The affirmative is going to be so behind here in terms of time frame and
probability in terms of what this sheet actually does. There's a double bind on the sheet that they've not responded to. Either one, this happens through something that happens behind closed doors, which means they do not get their multilateralism, or second, it happens through Congress, which triggers the time frame deficit that we say is uniquely damning for populations that are experiencing dehumanization, that are understood as disposable in the SWO right now. On this sheet, it's a clean vote for the negative at the point that we isolate, that we're ahead in terms of both time frame, probability, proximity, and magnitude. At the point that we control the internal link scenario to 2 extinction scenarios that have gone cold conceded by the affirmative. Don't grant them any inroads to the extinction scenarios in the PMR. That means that on this sheet, you buy our links that any action the affirmative takes to put more money into Morpheus microwave unmanned aerial systems necessitates an act of Congress, which means they're going to be behind in terms of time frame. This means that you grant us the inroads to our impact scenario. First, in terms of counterterrorism and loose nukes going nuclear. We say that this happens in the world of the affirmative at the point that funding is not allocated to combating anti-terrorism. You prefer this scenario on the likelihood that it is probable because these actors probably have loose nukes, we'll tell you about it. Additionally, here we're going to be ahead on the second nuclear war scenario that's in terms of economic instability. This is when trade wars and regional resource scarcity get worse over time and spill up. All of these articulations have been cold conceded by the affirmative. This means that you grant the negative 100% chance to resolve these impacts. This means that the affirmative is ahead. 1, in terms of time frame of our ability to resolve these issues right now. 2nd, in terms of their magnitude. And 3rd, in terms of their probability, that we isolate specific scenarios that we are uniquely able to resolve. This means that the negative is the team with the best option for resolving actions of material violence in the SWO. Go to the first scenario now, or the first advantage now. I want you to extend the work that I did in the LSC and the extensions that Jazz makes, particularly just some basic questions as to how the affirmative functions. If alien technology is so sophisticated, then why does your affirmative check back against the aliens that you say are coming? You cannot give me a link scenario that proves exactly why the really sophisticated aliens are able to push back, like why microwave technology is the thing that does them if you tell us that we don't know what you don't know. This means that the affirmative is always going to be behind in terms of their ability to solve. Additionally here, even if they tell you that it's try or die for the affirmative, we're going to say that the negative is ahead because we have 2 extinction scenarios that have outframed the affirmative and a separate tiebreaker on the resolution of material violence. This means that voting affirmative is not try or die, it's try and die because you were all killed by aliens anyways. On the second sheet, I'm going to extend the double bind. I'm going to extend the double bind about funding that was on ticks. Either it happens secretly and they just don't tell them so they don't get multilateralism, or it bites the scenario that we tell you. Additionally here, the lynching here, actually, what is just they cannot fiat multilateralism. Posturing is the problem. You vote negative on probability.
Okay, the order's going to be an overview on top. And then let's go to the advantage, let's go to the role of the ballot. And then we're going to go to advantage 1. I just grouped like the arguments, like the salty arguments that are put in the background as on advantage 1 as well. And then it's going to be advantage 2. And then the disadvantage. I have so many things. Maybe 1 second. I guess under the top. It's not like too loud. Anyone not ready? We are controlling the global because nuclear war is coming right now. That means that we're really necessarily control the most valuable impact of today's debate. Additionally, at 20 times you can see that this multilateral semesters, it will solve the disadvantage that probably means that you have no options. Additionally, we are controlling the directionality of the Union's fate because our wars are probably more specific as to why Congress, like the plan actually doesn't occur, which means that the task force is able to solve your impacts, which means the only thing you can vote on is the ability to resolve war and the nuclear war is currently coming. Let's know what the world about. You say that, you say that we engage in preventive violence or you preventive violence, but that's not the articulation coming out of the NG. We engage in an act of preventing violence, so there's probably not going to be a link back into this articulation. We probably need the articulation, especially at the point in time where we're going for a question of nuclear war happening or war happening. This status quo, which inevitably leads to which would probably lead to exchanges, or probably do you mean there? Fine. Okay. On the advantage, we're probably not going to be. We're not going to start our articulation. We're going to go. We're not going to start articulation. You can probably say the articulation that we're not able to solve for alien technology. That we but also alien invasion is probably going to be a lower probability impact than the rest of the impacts in space. So it's probably not going to be obvious here. Is that right? So it's left more residual obvious sheet. Let's go to the second advantage. We are running the question of global unity. Specifically, I want you to extend it to Asia point to bring us now because the rhetoric of powers and sounds like Ukraine indicate that we are on the brink of an all-out multilateral war. That means that war involving China, Russia, and the U.S. is probably this is probably the biggest impact of states. They did not contest the unique scenario, which means that we are inevitably facing nuclear extinction right now. They say that there's no internal link or wars, or regional conflict, but specifically they conceded our link analysis about how, first, I want you to second the cost of popular for the plan, because a nation believe in scientific endeavors and perversion of humanity. Since they're arguing that China and Russia don't believe in aliens, we say that even if they don't believe in aliens, it doesn't matter because they're probably second step back to the U.S. which working to preserve humanity. Also, we say that our wars about aliens, you can see how the uniqueness is contested, so and we also say that China's probably smarter. We can figure out those wars, but they can too. And the second, I want you to extend this to see some point of China to plan because they express interest in space cooperation and science cooperation is probably going to be that resulting in internal scenario analysis. Additionally, they make an articulation for regional conflict and necessarily leads to a nuclear war, but they do not provide a risk scenario. But we said that the risk is necessarily now, so we at least on the question of time, we conceded we're going to be winning here. Additionally, we make articulation about how intersharing cooperation are able to turn regional conflict. So yeah, but I'll get there with disadvantage. Let's go to the impacts. I want you to say two things I want you to say. I want you to say the word unity and resolve for multilateral war is going to be deeply violent and necessarily cause extinction through the launching of nuclear weapons. We agree that that's through the extended debate, so probably we're going to be controlling the internal links to the largest magnitude impact. Second, I want you to send the question of space all cooperation and intel sharing is probably trying to rest in articulation. This is the plan is good for everyone. Additionally, on space cooperation, they can see an argument and trust makes the plan is good for everyone who votes for it because everyone loves space cooperation. This is good, so that means that the deliberation is happening very fast. It's probably going to take up the link. This is our impact. Don't listen to this. We also say second on the question of intel sharing to solve this disadvantage and also try to argumentation on miscuts multilateral and solve this miscuts is not possible in the world. We basically knowing what people who are other powers who are operating space are doing our attacks here of nuclear war and space cooperation are going to be outweighing the question of time frame and magnitude. We say that time frame their scenario is happening in 2025 and they don't make any risk and we don't even know even especially which means that we don't know when manage. Couple of articulation, things are past us made all the time, things are past us made all the time, which is the specific articulation that, yes, freeze, we see that, we can see the articulation about freezing happened, but freezing has to be answered that, unfreeze at the one time where the liberation just like good people like this plan for 3 reasons. One, preservers like this for funny, walking hard, and second, we see that it's just like good because we're able to check back with
The argument that people like the plan because it funds Lockheed Martin isn't even anymore.
Yeah, this is a response to the animal argument because that no one loves it because no one knows anything about microwaves. Okay. Alright. Extend articulating the planet really super popular. There's also check back on China and third to check back on aliens with the US government is really always talking about aliens are probably getting good. There's also on the question of counterterrorism we're able to I would put counterterrorism on the question of China. Additionally, I want to send articulation about these things too big, but I want to send articulation on the engine that there's no room for deadlines are constantly extended. They're constantly extended, so that means that you have no possibility on this articulation. Also, she said articulation coming out of the that most progress that still happens at the last minute was this is more probably ruining terminal defense, even if you go by that, I think it's true on the impact level. We turn multiple animals and turns all their impacts.
For spectators, as you're waiting, I know that some of you all have left. It's probably going to be about, I guess, maybe 15, 20 minutes before we start awards. We have to wait until the judges have made their decision, and then we'll make sure to start awards then. We'll try to start as soon as possible. You can hang out in here, you can hang out in the student union, or for the two teams that just debated, your prep room. For Berkeley should be fine. For Whitman, your prep room is being used for the decision. So I don't think that they want y'all hanging out there with them, but you know, if you can find spaces on your campus, that'll be great. Yeah, fair enough. Or is there? That's totally. I was looking at like all the oceans. See that's like map. There's no way. I mean, I
Yeah.
You know, these are sports. Somebody becomes a disadvantage that Carly is not carnage.
We're just moving out of frame.
I've never seen them.
That would have been so fun.
Everybody believes in the power of the Avengers.
They'll die in space. They'll die in space. Look at the type of things to get. Waltz in space.
I mean, I didn't know oxygen level, but then different stuff. Look at the oxygen level. Yeah, I know the oxygen
That's important. That's where the word was actually too, like the respect for that.
Ah, text debate, huh?
No, but those are speech to speech from each side staying consistent. They sort of brought up something new, and that's technically not allowed, technically not allowed, there are only two rules of the speech.
You can let it.
It's consistency for sure.
Yeah, no, that is, I know this whole time, the whole time, like, all four speakers were sitting here and said, wow, I was on the ship, I guess, in this situation.
I'm like, at least
I know, but
like all point I don't get the, but it's sort of absolutely.
I mean, all things
You got your name to 10 people in time?
pretty good. They stand on the shoulders of giants like making
You could put that as a reference. Oh my goodness, that was me. Just so much away. I'm sure that's intentional.
See you with my
Correct? You got a friend for it? Oh wow. Well,
yeah, you know what? Yeah. If I did tell Elijah that I would get back into Pokemon Go, more people on the team.
great.
I have to bend down on a large company.
That's okay. I have to I'm catching this for a This doesn't violate. Is this part of your policy of like? Forget the specifics. Part of your policy where like students only get access to like fees at Pennsylvania, and then when they graduate,
Students can get access to my Pokemon Go account.
yeah.
They're just immediate material benefits.
Okay, I don't actually remember how to do this. So then I was
So you
like,
can get past that.
what do I do? There you go. Now you're going to receive gifts from, what do you call it? Outside of Jewett, the students playing tic-tac-toe. Those are the only ones I have.
That's
Hi, folks. Not that the piano wasn't beautiful. I appreciate all that. Great job, yes. Talented. We were going to get ready to start awards very shortly. I just want to make sure that we had taken our seats so that way we can get started as soon as we are ready. So whenever Baker is ready and has the final stuff he needs, then we will get started. Thank you all very much.
All right, folks, I'm going to kick us off. First of all, I just want to start with a general blanket thank yous to everybody for making the trip out to Walla Walla. I know it's not necessarily the easiest place in the world to get to, but really, really happy to have you here on campus for what is, for our program, kind of a momentous year in the fact that it has been 9 years since Whitman has hosted a debate tournament on this campus. And so I'm really just excited that you all got to be a part of bringing back that legacy to Whitman College. So thank you all. I want to start out with a couple of thank yous. You definitely heard them in the thank you speeches given out by the individual debaters, but I think they bear repeating. The first is President Dr. Bolton. Bolton has been an unbelievable supporter of debating forensics and the growth of the program here at Whitman College, and a lot of the success that we've had this year is due to the upper level administrative support that we receive as a program. And then in connection with that, the Senior Associate Dean of Students, Julie Dunn, who works tirelessly to make our program feasible in terms of travel, in terms of receiving the funds necessary to have people on our team, and to ultimately get to be a part of this community. So I really appreciate all the work that she's done. Additionally, I want to thank our communications department, who was pretty integral in the design of your stickers and your t-shirts, all things I think that add a unique flair to the national tournament and make it feel like a place we all call home. Also, thank you to technology services that have allowed us to live stream this round, to put it down in history on the YouTube page, so that other generations can learn from the great work that was put in at this excellent tournament. Next, I'd like to thank our custodial staff as well as conference and events for setting up the seats that you're sitting in right now, as well as scheduling all of the rooms. We took over an entire classroom. You might have noticed that Whitman College is not the largest place in the world, and so the ability to take over an entire academic building is kind of a big ask of a college. So I really appreciate them working with us through this process. And lastly, Bon Appetit. They do a great job of just feeding you, but beyond that, they take into consideration all of your dietary restrictions, make sure that everybody's taken care of, and they really stay on top of that level of service that we're really appreciative of. And then I would be remiss without thanking my own team. I always say that, I'm just a facilitator, that ultimately they are what makes this program a program. They're the ones who built this back over the last 5 years. And ultimately, we would not be here hosting you today if it weren't for the tireless work of the students, not only who just volunteered to make this a possibility, but also compete in the tournament and represent Whitman College. Big shout out to my right hand, Kiefer Storr, the Assistant Director of Debate and Forensics. He has been just absolutely paramount to just the general approach that our team brings to spaces. He is constantly energetic and positive, and that's infectious in a way where sometimes taking a hard loss is hard to swallow, but Kiefer will pop a joke and it lightens the mood a little bit. So thank you very much. And then also to Kyle Blygen. I've had the honor of working for Kyle now for 4 years. And we've seen the growth of this program together, and it's been really cool to get to work with someone who really connects the work that we do inside of the classroom to meaningful work outside of the classroom for our students. And then lastly, I'd like to thank our alumni network. This is not a statement I could have said 2 years ago, which is kind of cool. We have got to see and usher in kind of a new class of alumni coming back to the program and giving back. I look forward to that network continuing to grow, but I really appreciate the effort that they put in assisting in terms of judging, logistics, and coaching teams at the tournament. Also like to pay a big shout out to your tournament director, Dr. Stephen Kalani Farias from the University of Pacific. Tab room staff, Joe Provinger for the tab room director from the University of Texas at Tyler. And then the rest of the executive board, which is the executive secretary, is Alex Lee. Webmaster is Paul Villa. Treasurer, again, Steve. And then the at-large member, Brent Nicholson. All of these people have worked day in and day out over the last year to put this together. And it's really cool that you all have got to come together and watch this come to fruition. I know that it's something we've all really been looking forward to. All right. And then lastly, I'd like to say a big thank you to all of the judges that helped make this a possibility. A lot of you come out here and are just breaking even in order to support this community. And we appreciate and recognize that that is the lived reality of you volunteering your time to this community. But ultimately, what we do would not be possible without the people who care enough to dedicate their time and energy and educational experiences with you all to make the community better. So a massive thank you to all of your judges, and lastly, to all of your coaches who physically brought you to this place, have supported you, and are there for you when you need them. So massive thank you to all of those folks. All right, and the part that you actually care about of the awards. Going to pass it off to Steve Farias to give us the speaker awards, and we will proceed from there. Thank you all.
Hello again, folks. Before I start the speaker awards, I do want to say one last round of thank yous to the final round judges. I clearly was not built for this kind of stage because I forgot to mention that Deja Powell is also a former national champion and also the NPDA president. But this is what happens: you try to ad-lib in the middle of a final round, and you just try to be like, "Hey, we're going to try to make this." A thing. So apologies to Adeja, but I also want to thank all of you because you did something that I think is really important, which is you're here at 10:30, and the last time an NPTE round finished this late, yeah, it was like division of the House, and I don't think anybody was happy. It was like 1 a.m. So I'm glad we're not there anymore, but I do think that we've come a long way. And part of that is also a result of our president, Baker Whitman. You all should give Baker a huge thank you and shout out whenever you can. Last year, when the MPTE board with Joe Pro and Adam Testerman decided that they wanted to step away for family reasons, because they have children and responsibilities in life that sometimes are bigger than what we do, it was Baker who approached me and Baker who approached Brent and a lot of the folks that are now on the board and said, hey, this is really important, this thing that we do, this thing that we want to keep and shepherd and provide an opportunity for students. And I think that this is indicative of the way that both the MPTE and the MPDA executive councils and boards are shaped by the folks who come back. And it's not just the folks that are on the final round panel, Dalton Richardson, Nadia Steck, folks that have been part of parliamentary debate in so many ways, are part of other situations in debate now, or continue to support debate programs outside of parliamentary debate. And getting them here was no small task, and that's also a function of the work that Baker went through to say, hey, I'm going to reach out to people that I think are excellent critics for this tournament, that I think are people that will make the tournament better, and I know I can rely on and count on. So please, everyone, standing ovation for Baker. He has done everything to make this happen. With that, we will announce the top 16 speakers at the MPTE. Feel free to give everyone applause. This is not like an ID ceremony. I know that they do like the one clap or the two clap. No, you don't think you all get applause, especially if you're here to receive your award, because hey, you're here and you're sticking with it. So, in 16th place, from McKendree, Emma McElhardy. In 15th place, from Parliamentary Debate at Berkeley, Scott Schuster. In 14th place, from University of the Pacific, Danelli Santillan. In 13th place, from William Jewell College, Patrick Terry. In 12th place, their partner from William Jewell College, Trent Dixon. In 11th place, from Parliamentary Debate at Berkeley, Holden Carrillo. In 10th place, from Whitman College, Casey Moulton. In 9th place, from Parliamentary Debate at Berkeley, Arjun Banerjee. In 8th place, from University of the Pacific, Angelica Guzman. In 7th place, on the road already, from University of Texas at Tyler, Zachary Stansberry. In 6th place, from University of Texas at Tyler, also on the road, Leilani Hurtado. Your top 5. Your 5th overall speaker is from Whitman College, Jazz Liu. Your 4th speaker is from Parliamentary Debate at Berkeley, Tristan Keene. Your 3rd speaker is also from Parliamentary Debate at Berkeley, Brenna Syerson. Your second speaker is from Whitman College, Alexa Grekishkin. And your top speaker at the 2024 National Parliamentary Tournament of Excellence, I told you I wasn't built for this, is from Whitman College, Isabel Matthews. I will now turn it over to Brent Nicholson to announce the top critic at the tournament based on MPJ and the season-long champion.
Stop giggling. Anyone who knows me knows I care a lot about judging well, trying to do your best when you judge. And as I was sitting in the final round room, watching other people complete their ballots, working through the process, I just wanted to go over that with all of you. It's not something that every judge experiences. It's not something that a lot of debaters see. But it's a room with 7 people in it who care deeply about getting to the right decision for who they are, for what they think about debate, with what you all gave them. I think it's something that I love about this tournament, that it recognizes the judges who you all agree are good, that you want them judging you. So it's my pleasure to get to announce the top critic this year. A member of the MPTE board, it's Alex Lee. So this next award has not been given in the 24-year history of the MPTE. The first MPTE was hosted at Whitman College in the 2000-2001 season. 23 years later, we are back here for the first tournament Whitman has hosted in 9 years. In order to commemorate that return of the MPTE to its home, its first home at Whitman, we decided to make a trophy. Whitman College is funding a trophy to be created named the Whitman Cup to recognize the top season-long MPTE points earner. Once finished, soon, the first name on that trophy is going to read Parliamentary Debate at Berkeley, Syerson and Team. Places, I'm going to hand it over to our top critic, Alex Lee.
Quick things. Thank you. More importantly, though, it's been a long road. Signing on to the MPT Executive Committee, I think all of us, we were not necessarily expecting all of this. We were definitely, how do we sort of rebuild, how do we come back from maybe a down year or a couple years of being, not as big as we were, but I think we're coming back in force. So thank you all for being here, and thank everybody around you, right? This is huge. This is something that is really important to all of us, and I think having the MPT, having the MPDA, it's a huge thing that I think that we're trying to build into the future and make sure that this happens over and over and over again. So, in the interest of keeping things relatively short, I'm going to move on to awarding the top 8 elimination round results, 8-3. In 8th place, from the University of Pacific, Denali, Santian, and Angelica Guzman. 7th place, from University of Texas at Tyler, Leilani Hurtado and Zachary Stansberry. In 6th place, William Jewell College, Patrick Terry and Trent Dixon. In 5th place, from Whitman College, Alexa Gretchkin and Isabel Matthews. In 4th place, from Parliamentary Debate at Berkeley, Scott Schuster and Kylie Lynn. And in 3rd place, also from Parliamentary Debate at Berkeley, Arjun Banerjee and Holden Carrillo. And I will hand it over, for the moment you've all been waiting for, to Brent for the results of the championship round.
All right, on a 5-2 decision, in 2nd place, and I want to make sure that this team gets a good round of applause, Whitman College, Jazz Lou and Casey Moulton. Means you're reigning, defending national champions of the National Parliamentary Tournament of Excellence in 2024 from Parliamentary Debate at Berkeley, Tristan Keene and Brenna Severson. As we're finishing up, I want to thank you all for attending the NPTE. This is a tournament that has been running now for 24 years that represents the best of what parliamentary debate can be, a mixture of depth and breadth that I don't think anything else really captures. We're looking forward to continuing this tradition next year at McKendree University, where we will bring back NPDA and NPTE in the same week, March 8th to 16th. Mark it on your calendars. You will be there. My students are giving up their spring break, and I hope some of y'all are too, so you don't miss too many classes. Thank you all so much. Looking forward to seeing you in the Midwest next, and at Rice probably to start the season. Thanks all.